You're mine! I'm all yours!
Got it! Next! Gang it up! Got it! Sorry?
Someone's...
God, no! He's dead!
Master, eh, Mutt? Greetings, sir. What's new? Well, if there was some...
I bring bad news from Kuttenberg. Eric's soldiers and the town rabble have torched the Jewish quarter. Fortunately, we saved most of the people. But I doubt they can form an alliance with us now.
Fuck. Where are they now?
Samuel and the rabbi took those who survived to Colleen.
Shit. We have to find Dry Devil and Capon and decide what to do next. Come on, there's no time to waste. Right, gentlemen. I think it's clear to all of you what a shitty fucking mess we're in. We were caught off guard at Rabosh.
And they nearly fucking kill us all.
Yes, and they attacked the Jewish quarter.
Thanks a lot for reminding me. I almost forgot.
At least Henry here and Kubienka got most of the people out.
That's true. Good work, men. How did it all go down?
Well, to tell the truth, we were lucky as hell. We got there before it all started in earnest. That's why we managed to get those people out.
Lucky my arse. We gave those bastards a thrashing. They thought they'd loot and torch the whole place, but we scared them shitless.
It is nice that you found my people's suffering so entertaining. But what I want to know now is how you all intend to avenge them.
Well, what do you have in mind?
We shouldn't give up. That's the main thing.
Except that Sigismund has the League of Lords and a whole fucking army. And what do we have? Fuck all! Come on, lads. Jobst will bring his army soon. It'd be fucking mad to try on anything big before that.
It might take weeks for them to arrive. Von Berghoff will have found and caught us by then. We have to get rid of von Berghoff. It's because of him that we're in the situation we're in, after all.
You mean in the shit, Sir Hans? No need to mince words.
Sir Hans here is right. It's starting to piss me off the way von Berghoff's been stringing us along all this time.
That fucker is Sigismund's right hand. So we'll chop it off.
Why kill him? You know what ransom we can get for that bastard.
Are you all fucking daft? Von Berger was holed up in Malashov, so unless any of you can fly, we can't get to him.
Oh, that's true. To take a cost like that, we'd need a dozen men, ladders, and maybe also a trebuchet or cannon.
There's no maybe about it. We'd certainly need a cannon.
So we steal the one von Berghoff used at Nebakov.
Well, why don't we just steal all the silver from the Italian court and buy our own, eh? Use your head before you open your mouth.
Hang on. Maybe Janosch's idea isn't all that bad.
How do you mean?
I recently sent Catherine to spy on Sigismund's military camp near Opatovitz. She told me von Berghoff has his cannon stashed away there. But it seems things are getting a bit out of hand there. So the Prague regiment he's in charge of is going to move it to Sedlec. And it might not be that well guarded along the way.
So we'll steal it, right? We'll wait till they go through some ravine, and we'll shoot at them from the rocks. The way you did to us before Nebakov.
I see you've learned something from me. But it's not that simple. What we need is for one of us to get amongst the Pragas, so he can keep an eye open and tell us when they're moving out.
And if we succeed? What then? There's 5.5 of us. Even with a cannon, that's not enough to take Malashov.
There's not much we can achieve on our own.
But show me the fool who'd want to join us.
There's always a few mercenaries around, right?
And how are you going to pay them, eh? I sure as fuck haven't got the coin.
That's enough! Von Berghoff has to die. Painfully, and above all, as soon as possible. And if there are not enough of you, this might help.
Well, well. That's a sight for sore eyes. Why the fuck didn't you show us that earlier? We could have saved ourselves a lot of blathering.
We really appreciate it, son. Believe me.
And we won't mind if you got a couple of more purses like that.
If you will permit, monsieur, I might be able to contribute. I know a few mercenaires in this part. They may not be la cavalerie royale, but for such a purse, they will gladly tear Malashov down stone by stone.
Ah, a company of mercenaries, a surprise attack, and a cannon in reserve. We could do something with that, couldn't we?
No, not so fast. We don't have the cannon yet.
Then we'll fucking get it. We'll find a good spot for an ambush and send someone into the camp to spy on them. What about you, Henry? You'll get yourself recruited into the Prague regiment, and when they take the cannon to Sedlec, you'll send us a message via Catherine.
Me again? Can't someone else go?
Me and Devil have to come up with a plan. Sir Hans might get recognized, and the others... Well, let's just say I give you the best chance of success.
All right, then.
That's settled, then. Henry will go to the camp. Catherine will tell you all you need to know. You'll find her in the bathhouse there. In the meantime, Ada here can go to Malashov and find out how von Berghoff and his people are stationed there. But look, don't touch.
Za kogo ty mnie kurwa masz?
A lot of soldiers need a lot to eat. They'll have to stock up.
I'll go hunting. This tavern's a bit crammed for my liking as it is.
And what are we going to do?
We're going to prepare a warm welcome for the Pragas.
What do you say, Sir Hinek?
Well, What the fuck are you all sitting here for? Didn't you hear? The fun's about to start!
Today's a scorcher.
Henry, come here.
Shame
I need to talk to you.
there is no hops
Henry, you have no idea how glad I am to see you alive and all in one piece. I was really worried about you. I prayed to Our Lady the Protector to watch over you in Kuttenberg. It's good she heard my pleas.
Thanks for putting in a good word. It definitely came in handy, because it wasn't nice at all. Lots of violence and death, countless foes. We could have easily kicked the bucket any moment.
God damn! What happened there?
I don't know if words are enough. Simply... it was just like Skalitz. Confusion, screaming, dying, and then the flames. The worst part came when the gate fell. It was as if the bloody gates of perdition opened for a moment, and hell surged into the world.
God protect us! God damn it! I should have gone there too. I could have been some use at least.
I'm always glad to fight by your side, but you wouldn't have changed anything there. There were too many of them. And when the whole street was thronged, there was no stopping it. All we could do was try to hold back Eric's people as long as possible, so the locals could flee to the synagogue. See, there's a hidden tunnel inside it, leading out of the city.
Fucking tunnels! Ugh. But thank Christ for them. What about Liechtenstein?
He's fine. And he managed to get those mysterious documents of his out. He left with the survivors for Colleen.
Praise God. He's from an old and glorious house. It would be a dreadful pity if he got left behind. The main thing is you got out. I was afraid I wouldn't be able to thank you properly for coming to Malashov for me.
No need to thank me.
I beg to disagree, my brave and faithful companion. First and foremost, be it known that if you should ever similarly find yourself in captivity, I swear before our Lord Jesus Christ that I shall come for you as you came for me. And secondly, I have something here for you. A truly knightly reward for your knightly deed. A hunting bow that has no equal in the province. I hope it'll brighten your thoughts after all those horrors. It can fell the mightiest buck deer and enchant many a doe. And besides, it has attached to it an enlightening history.
I'm honored. Thank you, friend.
Just a moment. This bow looks familiar. I believe I saw it among Margrave Yob's things.
Good heavens. You really don't miss anything, do you? When I found out that Yobs would gladly leave me locked up, it got my blood up. So, to pay him back, I relieved him of the bow in Raborsh. And it was immediately clear to me that that bow should go to none other than you.
That is certainly just, I'd say.
I knew we'd see eye to eye. It'd be great to try that bow out right away. We could ride out together on the hunt. Wine, bacon, wine, the deep woods, a quiver full of arrows, wine, shoot some deer and celebrate with wine, like we used to do back home.
We only went hunting together once.
Yeah, but it was memorable. Don't tell me you wouldn't like to do it again. Because As you yourself heard, there's no reasonable mission here for the noble lord of Leiper and Perkstein. So all I can do is head to the woods and make sure we don't die of hunger here. You'll come with me, right? We promised Shishka some meat, after all.
That's a good idea, actually. Where should we go?
I found this great spot in the forest near Bohunjevitz, an abandoned hunter's camp. I thought you might like to come with me, have a drink, chat, and do some hunting. What's more, it's on the way to Sigismund's camp.
Let's go then.
Great! Saddle your horse and get ready. I can smell the game from here.
Well, this doesn't seem too bad.
Are you going to do what we talked about? Careful!
Oh, you two.
Just a moment.
That money? Are you really going to give it to us just like that? Such a fortune.
What do you mean, give it to you? We earn this together, are we not?
No, you know what I meant. I'm grateful to you, but your people lost everything. I'm sure you could do with every groschen you can get your hands on.
Henry, money is power, but not when it's locked up in a chest somewhere. You have to know when to spend it, and what on. And believe me, getting revenge on von Berkow is worth every last groschen.
Why the hell do they pour the...
I wanted to ask you about the rebellious peasants.
Well, shall we meet with them?
You know what?
Then why did you...
I hope you'll use the money from Sam wisely. The mercenaries, you know. Who are they?
The best fighters I have ever met. You will not regret a single groschen, mon ami.
Sir Vaculin, you've had an exciting life. Tell me some stories.
Bien sûr. Your interest is gratifying and quite understandable.
Where does the name Brabant come from?
That is simple. My compatriots call me that because I am originally from Brabant province. And the name stuck. One day, I shall tell you about my place of birth, but I am sure you will long to hear about the conquest of Arezzo, yes? Or would you rather hear how I saved the King of France from certain death?
Arezzo sounds interesting.
And so it was. That is where I earned my knighthood from the great Enguerrand de Concy himself, the commander of our Naples campaign. Enguerrand arranged his forces for battle, and I was put in charge of one of the cavalry units. Out of nowhere, the enemy appeared on our unprotected flank, and Enguerrand set me to hold them back so our main force could regroup. But I saw a gap in the enemy's main phalanx. I sounded the charge and sped forwards.
Wasn't that rather risky?
Un chevalier français fears nothing.
I reckon King Sigismund would think otherwise after Constantinople.
That was completely different. Alors, I caught them by surprise. I hacked my way to their standard and broke through all the way to the enemy's reserves. My attack sowed confusions in the enemy's ranks that encouraged the overlords who raced to join me, scattering everything in their path. And that is how we won the famous victory at Arezzo. Seeing that the force that was supposed to protect them had been routed. The city then surrendered to us. No doubt you had no inkling at Maleshov what a knight you had the honor to meet. And of course my feats on the field of battle do not end there.
One beer after another.
A bold maneuver.
Quite right. Courage is my middle name. Just as Monsieur Chapon says, Audantes Fortuna Juva. That day I was the bravest of them all and won the day.
So you disobeyed your commander and left your flank exposed? Your attack could have ended in a total fiasco. You were lucky the others came to your assistance and your entire force didn't collapse.
I hear thee speaking, but you are still wet behind the ears. So, I can forgive you. In short, I saw an opportunity and took it. Moments like that can decide entire wars.
What did your commander have to say?
He made me a knight and sent me to the royal court to inform the sovereign of our triumph.
I reckon he wanted to get you out of his hair.
Do not talk nonsense.
How did you save the King of France?
With Providence as my guide, mon ami, I came to the court from the field of battle to bring news of our victory. Because, and remember this, the bearer of good news is always rewarded and cherished. But the king was in a bad mood and did not wish to be disturbed. Maybe I thought the news of our victory will dispel his ill humor.
How could you tell him if he didn't want to be disturbed?
Ha! I climbed up to his balcony and into his chambers to surprise him with the joyful tidings. And lo and behold, the king was writhing and gasping on the floor, overcome by one of his fits. Wasting not a moment, I dashed over to him and unblocked his throat, thus saving his life. In return, the king bestowed on me the title of Échanson, or cupbearer, and other generous gifts. And I then spent a while in his service at court. Unfortunately, though, even the king's favor does not last forever, and minor mistakes can come to overshadow good deeds.
One beer, please.
What happened at court that led to you being out of favor?
Well, perhaps I shall tell you some other time. Would you not rather hear about the glorious duel between Le Gris and Carouge?
Tell me what happened at court that caused you to lose favor.
Ah, a major setback and a gross injustice, mon ami. It is an unhappy memory, because it was the first time that La Dame Chance abandoned me.
It's nothing to be ashamed of. We can all learn from our failures. And I bet even your failures make for great stories.
Oui, that is certainly true. Very well, then. I suffered a combination of misfortunes all at once. But bad luck in business and on a hunt were the worst of all.
Luckery and Cargouche. Sounds like a pair of jesters.
En aucun cas. Jacques Le Gris and Jean de Carouge. These two great knights were in a legal dispute over an estate. But above all, when de Carouge was on a campaign, Legris fornicated with his wife. She claimed that he had raped her, while he said he had seduced him. And because everyone swore to their own truth on the Bible, the matter had to be settled by combat. First, they jousted. Then they fought on foot with sword and axe. Legris thought victory was in his grasp, but de Carouge suddenly pounced on him, wrested him to the ground, and beat him so terribly that he knocked off his helmet and cuirass. Even so, Legris refused to admit his guilt, and de Carouge drove a dagger through his neck. And if you promise not to tell, I will let you into a secret about that dagger.
Tell me the secret. I promise I'll keep it to myself.
Bien. As I say, de Carouge killed Legris with a dagger. And I found that dagger in the mud after the duel. A blessed blade, an instrument of divine justice. The dagger that ended the last trial by combat France ever witnessed. An item of great value. So, I had several copies made and sold them to rich French noblemen. That is how I first came into wealth. And I used the coin to buy the horse and armor I needed to set off in pursuit of glory in battle.
Ha! That was a good idea. I'd never have thought of that.
You still have a lot to learn, mon ami. But you're young, you have plenty of time. Just keep your mind and eyes open, like I did. It was one of the greatest things I ever saw, and I have seen a lot. Believe me. Half of France came to watch, including the king himself, who then banned trial by combat in France forever. I later told the story to anyone who was interested. One of my listeners, a certain Froissart, wrote my icon down and became famous. I could have written it myself, of course, but I am happy to help others find success.
You were in business?
Of course. I come from Brabant province, home to the greatest entrepreneur of all. My birthplace gave me an unrivaled nose for coin and the reputation of a financial expert. I was nicknamed the Seer of Louvain, and also the End of Midas. That is, until I persuaded an important nobleman to invest a large sum in maritime trade with Africa. All the ships he bought sank in a tempest. He had to sell off part of his estates to pay off his creditors. Of course, he wrongly blamed me for everything and turned many influential courtiers against me. But my advice was sound. He was simply punished by God for fornicating with every wench from the Pyrenees to Brittany, bragging about it and thus bringing shame on his gentle wife. I told him as much, but some people never admit their mistakes and prefer to blame others.
A sea voyage from France to Africa? You must have known that was a massive risk.
A risk, perhaps. But think of the fortune to be made. A man must think big if he wants to achieve greatness, no?
Big ideas often lead to big trouble. Storms, pirates, sea monsters, uncharted waters. It was a disaster waiting to happen, Baron. You should have tried the Baltic trade route.
You are right. That would have been safer. But that is under Hanseatic control and there is too much competition. Africa, mon ami, that is the land of opportunity. The Arabs sell to the Portuguese via Ceuta, and they sell on to us. Just imagine selling further and trading directly with African kings, cutting out all of those middlemen. Remember this, because one day I will be proven right.
What was the hunting incident?
We were out in the royal hunting grounds when I caught sight of a white stag. There had long been rumors about it, so imagine the prestige I would have gained by getting it. I set off after it, pierced its flank with arrows, and unleashed the hounds to finish it off. When I arrived, it turned out that my hounds had not killed a stag, but the horse of a lady, a court favorite of the queen's. I fell out of her favor, and all the doors became closed to me.
Christ almighty! How could you have mistaken a horse for a stag?
I did not. It was the hounds. The stag must have got away, and in their frenzy they pounced on the poor horse.
That's nonsense.
Oh, why do you say so?
Hunting dogs are trained to go after game. They'd never attack a horse, especially hounds from the royal kennels. You must have made the mistake and set them on the horse.
Well, normally that would be true, of course, but the hounds I was given had some kind of sickness that addled their wits. I do not remember exactly. No doubt they gave me those wants of purpose. A misfortune like that, which could indeed happen to anyone, would make lesser men roll with laughter. But the other lords were afraid I would outshine them, so they were waiting for a chance to get rid of me. And that chance came along, unfortunately.
Tell me about Brabant province. Is it far from here?
Quite far. From Bohemia, you would go to Bunburg and then follow the river Main until it joins the Rhone. Then you sail down the Rhone until it reaches the sea. And there, between the river and La Flandre, you will find Brabant, with its wealthy cities. Anvers, Bruxelles, Louvain, and many others. But those three cities are the equal of Paris, Rome, or your Prague. Both the Dukes of Burgundy and the Imperial Princes would like to annex our land to theirs, because its flourishing trade has made it rich. But like everywhere else, you can only come into wealth by birth or by enterprise, which is how I did it.
How did you end up here?
Leaving the court with a modest sum, I launched to visit faraway lands. I traveled a lot, spending time in various countries, and having many great adventures. When I learned that l'Empereur Charles, that great friend of France, had built the magnificent city of Prague in Bohème, I had to see it.
So people in foreign countries speak highly of Prague?
Bien sûr! It was abroad that I heard of King Wenceslas' silver city and its reputed vast wealth. I bought the abandoned Miskowitz estates and shares in the Kuttenberg mines. And for a time I settled here to provide for myself and wait for King Wenceslas, whom I wished to serve.
God, what's taking
But
so
even
long?
here fate did not let me be. When Sigismund brought his army to the city, I appointed myself to lead its defense. For how better to make King Wenceslas aware of me than by saving his beloved city? Victory was assured, but the burghers had other ideas. The city was handed over to the enemy, and I with it, stripped of my possessions. I languished in captivity, until fate again stepped in by sending you to Malishov.
Sir Vaclin, I'm surprised how well you speak our language. Where did you learn it?
Where do you think? Here, of course. Ce n'était même pas difficile. Perhaps I have already mentioned that I am guided by Providence. She endowed me with many talents, mastery of language among them. I can communicate almost everywhere in a word, and learn every new tongue in a trice. I now speak French, German, Italian, Latin, Hungarian, and Czech. Some English, though that is only a necessary evil.
What other feats have you performed in battle?
Oh, many, mon ami. For one battle does not make a warrior. It would take a week to recount them all, so I will just tell you about my second greatest feat. On the Italian field, we faced John Hawkwood, a ruthless Englishman and a fearsome warrior. Surrounded, we were at his mercy. Night fell, and we knew he would attack at dawn, and that would be it. But just then, Providence put an idea in my mind.
You went to parley?
Mais non! You cannot reason with les Anglais. Unobserved, I mounted my horse and set off to find help. And, La Dame Chance was exceedingly kind to me that day. As I rode away, by chance, I stepped it off of our horses. Thinking we were trying to break through, les Anglais went to head them off. But while the English were occupied with Myceli, our units managed to flee. I saved many men from certain death that night, and many lords from the disgrace of capture. Needless to say, I was generously rewarded for my valor.
That is indeed incredible. But you were just trying to flee, weren't you?
I wanted to bring reinforcements, but as I say, I merely follow Providence, and she guides my steps, from triumph to triumph, wherever I go. Stick close to me, Henri, and Providence will favor you too.
Thanks for sharing your stories with me, Sir Backlin. What do you think of our band of outcasts?
Well, I cannot say I expected to end up in this kind of company. I am more used to royal courts or, at least, wealthy burghers. But a man must accept his destiny as it comes.
What's the hold-up, innkeeper?
What do you think of Zizka?
Le Chevalier Jan? Well, he's not doing badly for a minor nobleman, but I think he will never be accepted among the higher nobles and knights. That takes a lot more. Mark my words. I am a good judge of people.
I can't get Catherine out of my head. I don't understand her. I'm sure you have more experience of love than me. What do you make of her? Why is she with us?
Ah, you're right. I am a connoisseur of love like I am of wine. But for my taste, Mademoiselle Catherine is of somewhat aged vintage. Though, I have to admit she's full-bodied and fragrant.
That's not really what I meant. Why is a woman like her with us?
Là est la question. I had the feeling something terrible happened to her in the past.
So do I. But what?
I have no idea. But she is fond of you, if you ask me. Try asking her, and maybe something will come of it. L'amour.
Oh, come on.
I am a good judge of people, trust me. L'amour.
What do you think of Sir Hynek?
Ah, le diable sec. A capable chevalier, but I do not trust him. There is treachery in his eyes.
You think so?
My instinct rarely lets me down.
How do you get on with Janosch and Adder?
Oh, those two. Once in Kuttenberg, I also had a servant who pretended not to understand me and thought I did not understand him when he spoke German in my presence. But he was wrong. He is no longer my servant.
How do you get on with Sir Hans?
Oh, young Lord Chapon may be inexperienced and hot-headed at times, but he's one of the few here who knows how to play chess. And I have a great respect for chess players. Needless to say, he has not managed to beat me yet. Godwin and Zizka can also play. Ah, and that devil in press clothing beat me. Merde.
Have you met Godwin?
The priest who is very skilled with a sword. Priests should not be such good swordsmen. That is what knights like me are for. In addition, he can play chess just as well as he wields a sword. And in drinking wine, he beats even the best Frenchmen. A man of talents. Or perhaps the devil is behind it.
Have you had the chance to meet my half-brother yet?
Samuel. It is strange that he joined your... our group. It is not usual for his, people. But he's certainly a good reinforcement.
What do you think of Kubienka?
A good warrior. But he has no morals and no manners, like all mercenaries.
Well, I don't think he cares much about that.
And that is just the problem. How can you trust a man who does not want to be a knight?
Tell me, how did the siege of Kuttenberg go?
Ah, mon ami, poorly, poorly. But what could I do? Stand down from leading the defense like a coward? After all, I had to live up to my reputation. And at the time, it did not look hopeless at all. I thought it would be enough to stall Sigismund for a while before the Allied army arrived. And that would not have been so difficult.
Only no army arrived.
Précisément. The hope for a swift end melted away, and the courage of the burghers along with it. I, who fought in 5 countries, was relieved of command, arrested, and handed over to Sigismund.
I heard your attack on the trebuchets was a disaster.
It is true, but that was not my fault. The Kuttenbergers blamed me to cover up their own failure. Ces connards. I made the correct decision, but I was given bad intelligence. The Kuttenberg spies that I sent out reported that the trebuchets weren't defended, but they were too cowardly to take a good look from up close. This tragedy would never have happened if it were not for their stupidity and lack of heart. But enough of that. There is no point, as you say, in crying over the spilled milk. One must move forward. In the meantime, however, I can pass on some of my experience to you. After all, I am not getting any younger, so it is time to pass my wisdom on to future generations.
I'd like to learn.
It will take some time, and a few groschen, mon ami. Acquiring my art came at great cost, so I cannot pass it on for free. Especially now, when I have been unjustly stripped of my possessions, and I must rely only on my sharp wits. Ainsi va le destin. So, what would you like to know?
Why is this all sticky?
Tell me then, what do you think about this whole plan? Honestly, now.
Honestly. Well, for a start, I reckon that Frenchie'll take the coin and we'll never see him again. The Adder can take care of himself. I'm sure he'll do a good job scouting Malashov. But I wouldn't count on him coming back and telling us von Bergau's an idiot who leaves the main gate open at night. And the rest depends on you, and how well you can infiltrate Sigismund's men. I wouldn't put much money on it, but who knows? Maybe you'll surprise me.
I'd like to learn from a master.
You got that wine for me?
All right. Here you go.
Ready. What is it you want, then?
I want to see what you can do with a...
All right, then. eh?
Greetings.
Good afternoon.
I have.
What?
I actually.
What?
I. I heard you fought in the Battle of Kosovo. Is that true?
Why wouldn't it be?
No, it's just. It happened a long time ago.
Are you saying I'm old?
I meant. knowledgeable.
Aye. That's me. I was at the Battle of Kosovo many years ago. 14, if I'm not mistaken.
So how did it happen? Tell me. I don't think I can quite imagine such a massive battle. How many soldiers were there?
Countless, lad. I'd never seen so many take the field. At least 10,000 men on our side. And Sultan Murad must have had at least twice as many with him.
So how did the battle go?
Lord forgive me, but it went to shit.
Could you be more specific?
Specific? Well, I only know what people said after the battle. When you're in the midst of it, you don't see what's happening around you.
Which was?
Oh, it's hard to describe. Attacks are followed by retreats, and between that, only fatigue and dust.
So what happened?
When the battle began, the Serbian cavalry crushed the Turkish left flank. It looked good for us, but alas, that was just the beginning. Soon, we got ours too. We fought valiantly, but they pushed us back, and in the meantime, they hit our center. The Sultan's Janissaries attacked us there. Damn devils, and raised all hell. Rivers of blood soaked the ground.
How could you survive something like that?
You can't give up, and death isn't an option. But then a rumor spread that Prince Lazar had fallen, and everything began to crumble. But he was a tough old warrior of the Nemanjic royal blood. He wouldn't give up just like that. With an arrow in his eye, he climbed his horse and rode straight for the Sultan. Well, that's how he saved us. The battle then lasted until evening. But no one had the strength to force the enemy to retreat.
And where did you fight?
Or in the saddle. I'm a nobleman, after all. But I lost 3 horses under me. So in the end, I also fought on foot. Most of us mercenaries were on the left flank, under the command of Vlatko Vukovic. But he soon got wounded, and the men began to flee. I mean, if it wasn't for Nicholas Gabriel, we wouldn't be talking here today.
And who was that?
The commander of our company. A born warrior, and a good friend. In fact, Zizka reminds me of him a bit sometimes. In any case, the fact that Gabriel had taken a command at that point meant our flank did not buckle, and the Ottoman rabble did not cut us to pieces as we fled.
So who won in the end?
The battle lasted all day, and in the end no one knew who had won, because both sides left the field. Only later did we find out. Prince Lazar had fallen there alongside all his Serbian nobility. Still later came the news that Lazar had been captured and executed by the Turks the day after the battle.
They executed a prince?
Aye. They beheaded him, because someone had slit their sultan's throat like a piglet.
So you didn't win?
It's hard to say. We held our own against the odds and survived. Only without their prince, it was just a matter of time before Serbia fell into the new Ottoman Sultan's lap. Fortunately, I didn't stick around to see it. All the same, even as I'm telling it, It strikes me what an adventure it was. I suppose time heals all kinds of shit. In the end, you forget the bad things. And yet, I can only thank God that Nicholas Gabriel was there.
Your captain?
Aye, him. We actually became friends of sorts. He even taught me one of his sword tricks.
He did?
Aye, really. I could even show you sometime. A memory of the good man who saved my arse on that day. I'm sorry.
No great loss. It wasn't that good anyway.
The camp might be pretty dangerous. Have you got any advice for me?
Catherine's the one who knows about spying and that kind of thing. But it won't do us any harm if you make yourself useful there. I don't expect you'll just blurt out to them where they can find us, but loitering around the camp, peeking here and there, that's always suspicious, so watch it.
Taking Malashov won't be easy. How do you plan to do it?
You'll find out in good time, don't worry. First, I have to talk it through with Dry Devil, though. With a bit of luck, we'll get inside the castle unobserved at night, and then we'll manage somehow.
What about that cannon you sent me for?
We'll keep that in reserve in case anything fucks up. And believe me, something always fucks up.
Christ! Pardon me.
Go!
Whoa! You told me to come back for sausages. So here I am.
Yes, yes, they wait for you.
I can hardly wait.
They won't wait. Here, you taste and you will be in heaven. My secret recipe, 6 kind of spice.
That looks really appetizing. It puts Oates' kitchen to shame.
I learn from best of best. You want more? I make. But you must bring me meat. Game is best. But dog, alright too. Only tough and taste this weak. Need a lot of salt.
So I can bring you almost anything and you can make sausages out of it?
From anybody. But don't bring me no old stuff or stinky stuff. That bad, bad, bad.
I've got some...
Hey? Well...
So...
Oh, Richie. Somebody beat me to it. Oh, mushroom. Yesterday gone.
Quick!
Go! Quick! Go! Quick! Die! Whoa!
Bloody hell. Soldiers. Sigismund's men, judging by the colours. Shit, and there's a dead body. Over there, by the tree. A local hunter, probably. He must have stumbled across them. Oh, those bastards will pay for this.
What are we gonna do?
We came here to hunt. So let's hunt.
Are you sure? There's quite a lot of them. I'd rather not end up tied to a tree like you did in Rattay that time.
Come on. We can handle this motley bunch.
And they're not worth getting your sword dirty. Let's just ask them nicely to leave.
Nicely? Sigismund's lackeys?
All right then, not nicely. But no violence.
Christ, you're no fun. But no violence, if you insist. Hey! Shitheads!
Hey, looky here. Who's the cute pair? Who are you?
Hunters.
I see. But that's a bit of a problem, gentlemen. Because in this camp, we're the hunters. And I doubt there's enough game for all of us.
We don't hunt animals.
What did he say? Why are you even bothering talking to him? Come on, Kval. Stop mucking about.
Shut it, crap. Get lost, you two. This forest belongs to the crown now. Can't you see King Sigismund's colours?
We see them. Nice colours, aren't they, Capon?
Very pretty.
I reckon we'll take your tabards. And that doe you killed as well.
Really? Why would we give them to you?
Who said anything about you giving them to us? I said we'll take them.
That's enough. You know what, lads? I reckon we should teach the young gentlemen some manners. Get them!
Come here!
Shit! That last one mustn't get away!
Just fire! Show what you get no mercy on me!
Deal with that last bastard!
Enough! I give up!
Some That'll teach you!
You stink all the way over here!
You won't get me!
And that's that.
Shouldn't we tell Zizka about what happened here?
Why? There's not much to tell, really.
Don't you want to boast about your heroic deeds?
Come on. You call this a heroic deed?
Wiping out a band of Sigismund's soldiers. It's not long ago I wouldn't have believed we had it in us.
You see? And today it's just another run-of-the-mill afternoon.
And what about the dead bodies?
Well, I suppose we should bury them, eh? They may have been bastards, but we shouldn't leave them to the wolves.
What now? Make camp and go hunting?
I don't know. I seem to have lost my mood for it. But we promised to bring some meat, didn't we?
Oh, these fellas were just skinning a doe. That should do it.
All right. Let's cut it up and take it back to Devil's Den. We'll go together, right?
Of course.
All right. You take care of the doe. I'll start digging a grave.
What do you make of this Brabant fellow?
He's unquestionably a remarkable knight, that Vakelin. He rambles on a lot, though. My head nearly burst listening to him sometimes. Although it was better than being stuck there alone. Otherwise, he seems to me like a bold and worldly gentleman, if a little obsessed with wealth.
I agree. He seems quite likeable. And he's got a score to settle with Sigismund, like we do.
He certainly has.
What happened when von Bergov hauled you off after the Nabokov battle?
It was a dreadful journey. Jesus, don't even remind me. It was a bit better in Malashov. Apart from being locked up, of course.
Did anything happen along the way?
No, but it took ages to get to Malashov. 4 or 5 days in that god-awful cart. I was travelling with von Owlet's minions. They hauled me in one of the wagons. They treated my wounds a bit, but I was still in a really bad way. After that battle and all.
What did they do with you in Malashov?
Nothing much, actually. They took care of my wounds, and then stuck me in a room with Brabant. But they treated me decently, as befits a noble. Von Bergov came asking questions a couple of times, but that was about it. Only I almost went mad from being cramped in that damned room. It's a good thing you got me out of there.
What was the problem with the room?
That I couldn't get out of there. You saw yourself when you came for me, didn't you? It's just that since Nabokov, when they shot the tower right down on my head and I was stuck there. Well, since then, I don't feel well in cramped spaces. Actually, I never did. I always preferred to be outdoors. But since Nabokov, it's worse than ever. I had a feeling the roof would fall on my head again and I'd be buried alive.
I understand. It's a bit awkward for you that the nobility lives in castles.
That's a fact. Once I get my hands on my estates, I'll build a new castle that only has huge rooms and lots of space. And above all, no secret passages.
Great. I'm really looking forward to this new castle of yours.
You can be the castellan or something. Don't worry, I won't forget you. I'll even have a forge built so you feel right at home.
They didn't let you out at all? But you were in that room for ages.
No. They let us walk around the fortress a bit. We even went out for a ride twice, but they watched us like hawks. Not a chance of escape. But most of the time we were in that room. Like I say, I'm really glad you got me out of that hole.
What did von Burgov want from you?
Just the usual courtesies. The captivity of nobles has to observe certain formalities, you know? It's not like they could just throw you in some hole. They behaved fairly respectfully, but of course he was fishing for information. About Radzig and Hanush, and especially Jobst. What they're planning, how many men they have on the field, who else they're negotiating with and that.
And what did you tell him?
Nothing that he didn't already know. I played as dumb as the village idiot. I only told him they sent us with that message and discussed the rest when we were gone.
And did he swallow it?
I think he suspected I was bluffing a bit, and then he tried to loosen my tongue by letting me go hungry for a while. But he soon gave up when he saw he was getting nothing more from me.
My word. Nice work keeping him at bay. But the main thing is, you're alive and kicking. And back with us.
Indeed.
Another day behind us, eh? All right, so.
Christ, where did I put it?
Lord be with you.
I hope it's a quiet.
What would you like? What can you do, sir? Maybe next time, then.
Maybe I should have distilled it too. Did I forget to distill that potion? What if I was supposed to distill it?
God grant you health.
And then they'll start taking women.
You're a bird.
A word about... That?
My.
Sir? My God, for that much, I'd even bash the priest of the...
Praise the Lord.
Greetings to you as well. Come on now.
How can I help?
Ka! Ka!
I'm always glad to see polite people like you. God be with you.
They drank nearly a whole barrel of wine.
I know you. I see you before.
Me? No, you're mistaking me for someone else.
Now, Zudnakam, where we know us from?
We don't know each other, really. I just have that kind of face. You know how it is. An ordinary bloke in a camp full of gentlemen like you. It's no wonder I don't stand out.
True. People many and time little to remember all.
So, do you still have no regrets about how things turned out?
Why should I have? That bitch deserved what she got. And she even thought what she did was a righteous thing. Oh, it makes me want to cry. And kill her again.
Once was enough. The girls have been avenged, and that's the main thing, isn't it?
I suppose so, but I don't feel the satisfaction I expected. I feel a bit relieved that it wasn't because of me that Alice died. Although, in a way, it's almost worse. She died because of some mad woman.
I know, but look at it from the other side. You were the instrument of God's punishment. And nobody else is going to die because of that hag anymore.
True. But how am I alone the instrument of God's punishment? Without you, we wouldn't have found out anything. So once again, thank you very much, Henry.
Ah, there you are.
Henry? What are you doing here?
Zizka sent me. Is there somewhere we can talk? In private, I mean.
Oh, by Christ. Oh, you've come up with another plan, haven't you? All right, but you better come this evening. We're too easily seen right now.
Christ, what's the hold-up?
Greetings.
My body...
Sir.
Sorry.
Oh, you fool.
Oh, you pooch.
I'm here.
Come. I know a place where nobody will disturb us.
Where's that?
Stop asking questions and start undressing.
You want to talk here?
You said you wanted privacy, didn't you? If anyone sees us here, they'll think you're just another customer. And relax a bit. You're as stiff as if you were waiting to be branded.
How am I supposed to relax in this situation?
Come now, Henry. Don't say you've never had your back scrubbed by a woman.
I have, yeah, but... it's just different with you. It feels a bit weird. After all we've been through together.
Oh, come now. You don't have to be bashful in front of me. Even about what I think I see in that tub.
Well, the water is pretty cold.
Of course it is. So, tell me quickly what you're doing here before you shrivel up entirely in the water. You say Zizka sent you?
That's right. It's about von Bergov's cannon and the Praggers who have it. I hear they're going to move it to Sedlec.
Aye, they have it. What of it?
We want to steal it on the way.
Have you all gone mad? Do you know how dangerous that is?
I know. That's why Zizka sent me here. I'm supposed to infiltrate the Praggers and make sure everything goes smoothly.
So what do you need me for?
Information. When are the Praggers going to take the cannon to Sedlets?
That's what you're supposed to find out, isn't it? But it looks like they got held up for some reason. Sometimes I hear them complaining they should have been long gone by now.
Where is the cannon now?
In the upper part of the camp where all the local captains have their tents. They've put up a palisade around the entire hilltop. And the guard at the gate doesn't let just anyone in. And what's more, they say the whole camp's gunpowder store is there.
And you think it's in the storehouse there?
That's the only place it can be. I haven't seen it anywhere down here, but they won't let me into the upper part.
Do you know anything about the cannon?
Not much. I've heard they call it the Finger of God, and it costs a fortune, but that's all.
Who's in charge here?
That's a pretty complicated question. But in a nutshell, there are 3 main captains here. They run the whole camp. Sigismund is holed up in Sedlets with his toadies and doesn't take much of an interest in what's going on here. The Cumans are under the command of a fellow called Chertan. Then there is Grozaf, who runs the camp. And then there are the Praggers, led by Dietrich Katz.
What is this Chertan like?
He's the commander of all the Cumans who marched into Bohemia. Sigismund officially gives the orders, of course, but it's Chertan they listen to. I've met him a couple of times. He's a tough fella, but his soldiers are loyal to him.
Who's this Grossav?
He's in charge of everything here. He's a nobleman, but don't expect him to act like one. They say he ran up debts and fell out with half the royal court. So Sigismund holed him away here instead of taking him to Sedlets. Watch out for him. You know how it is. The worse off a man is, the pushier he gets.
This Katz. Who is he?
He's in charge of the Prague Artillery Regiment. You should know him, in fact. It was him and his men who attacked Nabakov that time.
That Horison who nearly killed us all.
Calm down. You'll get your revenge soon enough.
Do you have any idea how I could infiltrate the Praggers?
The best thing would be to join up. There are never enough men. But it won't be as easy as it might seem. They won't let you go up and see cats just like that. But down by the shooting range, you'll find a fella they call Crow. He's a corporal in the Praggers. You'll know him by his big black moustache. He's Katz's right-hand man. So I'd try my luck with him.
But what if he turns me down?
Then I suppose you'll have to keep bothering him until he changes his mind. What else?
And once I've joined them, what next?
Find out when they're supposed to go to Sedlets. And above all, why they're still here. And once you've got it sorted out with them and you're gonna all ride out with the cannon, I'll go straight to the Devil's Den and we'll get to work.
Well, it all sounds pretty dangerous. If I say the wrong thing or someone recognizes me, the game will be up. I could do the kiss for luck.
If you don't mess up, you'll have 1,000 kisses. But work before play. Is there anything else you want to ask before we get started?
Do you know anything else about the Praggers that might come in handy?
Not really. They're artillerymen, as I said. And their pay is a lot better than the others, so they aren't too popular around here. That's all I know. They drink, play dice, and go to the baths just like all the others.
What's it like here? Should I be afraid?
Not really. But I wouldn't call it peaceful here. You know what it's like. Humans here, Prague's there. Couple of noblemen and a bunch of mercenaries who want to fill their purses. All hot-blooded and all hating each other. Apart from that, it's lovely.
Is there anything I should watch out for?
Your mouth, mostly. You know what you're like. If you give the game away, you're a dead man. Just try and act normal. They get up to a lot of drinking, riding, and archery here. Now and then they fight like cats and dogs, but the captains have things under control for the moment. Although
what?
there's a rumor going round the soldiers that there's a spy here. At first, I was worried they were talking about me, but it seems not. Be careful.
That's all I need to know.
Get out of the water, then. You've been in there for ages. Though I have to admit, you've scrubbed up nicely. Maybe I should wash you more often.
As long as it's always free of charge.
Actually, there is something you could do to repay me. But that can wait. Enlist for service first, soldier.
One beer.
What was our plan?
It's stealing. Well, so see?
You said you needed my help with something?
I do. It's just... Well, it's not easy to talk about, you know? Someone's been following me. I haven't actually seen anyone, but I can't help feeling someone staring at me all the time. And once, I even heard something.
It doesn't sound all that serious. You're probably just ill at ease from having so many soldiers about. I have more important things to worry about right now.
Right. The noble sir knows best, eh?
I've been thinking about what you...
Ah, thank you.
But I need to know more. Do you think someone's found out who you are?
Judging by the mumbling, I reckon this is about something else entirely. But you never know what a creep like him might notice. I'd feel a lot better if you could get rid of him somehow.
Has anything else strange happened?
No. Except maybe... I lost a shoe.
A shoe? Just one?
That's just what's so strange about it. If both went missing, I just think someone stole them. But one? What good is one of my shoes to anyone?
I could think of a few things.
Yuck.
Did you understand what the bloke was saying?
Not a word. It didn't sound like Czech.
What did it sound like? Polish? German?
Hungarian. You can't mistake their gibberish for anything else. I reckon it was some Cuman.
When did all this happen?
About 2 days ago. It was quite late at night. I haven't slept a wink since.
Let's hope it's nothing serious. But we should find the bloke and have a word with him.
What do you plan to do?
Well, if he really did steal your shoe, Mutt could track him down.
That's not a bad idea. But you'd have to give him something to get the scent.
You've got the other shoe, don't you? You can't walk around with one shoe on anyway. And Mutt's dependable.
It's not Matt I'm worried about. Just sort things out with a creep, that's all I care about.
I can explain to him that a woman like you isn't for him.
I suppose. If you tell him firmly enough.
All right. I'll see what I can do.
Thank you. But now go. We both have work to do.
Oh, you...
Here, Mutt. Search.
One bear!
Good. Sziasztok.
When it rains, it
Sziasztok!
What is it, boy? Is this where the shoe thief lives? That's Catherine's. So this is where the Cuman who won't leave her alone lives.
God bless.
Good to see you.
So it's you. You're the human that keeps bothering the black-haired bath wench. You'll leave her alone. Got it?
Mi van? Nem értem.
What are you on about? You don't understand a word I say, do you? Bathhouse. Das bad. Washing. Bathhouse wench. Woman. No watching. 9. Got that? Again?
Igen. Aha. A fürdős lány. Miért ne? Minek ütött bele az orrod? Igen. Szeretem.
Why'd you do it anyway? You, woman, warum looken? That bad. Keine Liebe.
Én szerelmes. Ő hajadon. Nicht Mann. Én erős, ő szép. So schön.
I know she's schön, but she's spoken for. Taken, see? Me and her. Ich and sie. Love. Große Liebe.
Mi? Szerelem? Du? Szerelmes vagy bele. Ezt nem tudtam. Nicht wissen. Bocsánat, I sorry. Békén hagyom.
See how easily we came to an agreement?
Kap le! Szemétláda!
Eat shit!
Enough!
Enough! I give up!
You're a
I'm very...
What do you...
I was...
Well,
You think so?
with your buddies? So what...
It wasn't.
All right.
Excuse me.
I found the Cuman who was stalking you. He's called Chakan. I reckon you won't have any more trouble from him.
Oh, thank God. How did you convince him to stop?
I just told him a woman like you wouldn't waste her time with someone like him.
And he understood? Have you learnt Cuman? Or did you explain it with your fists? And what about my shoes?
Here they are. Both of them.
Thank God for that. I was afraid I'd have to steal someone else's. And Henry?
What?
Thank you. You're a good man. I owe you one.
Work, then I'll fucking pay you.
But sir, that's what you said last time. And the time before that. And now I ain't no material to forge anything for you.
How dare you speak to me like that, you know? Hey, you're not allowed here. Hey! You're not allowed here.
My God, he's very nuts. God bless you, sir.
Do you know how it ended up with Victoria?
Well, you see, I wanted to thank you for helping us, especially her. I don't know how long the camp will be here, but I'll try to help her as much as I can. And once we move on from here, I'll take her with me. There's always a place for a hard-working woman in a camp.
Now those are the words of a real man. Good luck.
Hey, my friend.
You better call back that dog.
Get out!
Hey! You're not allowed here.
So, what'll it be? Leave here, now! I've plenty of time to find you. You're not fit to be here.
Give up!
Easy now! I surrender!
You can't say you weren't warned. You can't just loiter. You'll pay.
Look.
What are
you... Look,
where are you?
It's like...
No.
They're with... Well, this... high... Then all of us... That girl...
Oh, all right. That's taken care of. Off you go now.
So, are you going? Get out of here, fella. Or I'll deal with you again.
Any...
Greetings to you.